Reddit. That one place where users can find anything of the range of innocent to utmost unsettling. Today we'll be taking a deep dive on a post on the RBI subreddit about a Redditor asking for help about their missing neighbors.
This is their story.
On July 17th, 2021, at 10:37 a.m., a Redditor of the name Azrella would make a post on the RBI subreddit asking for help about the whereabouts of their missing neighbors. Their post is as follows. Last month was the last time I saw my next door neighbor. For context, we live in an apartment complex. This lady and her two daughters moved in a few months ago. I would see her often getting into her vehicle since her assigned parking spot is outside my living room window or if I was on my porch. I haven't seen her or her daughters since like the first week of June. I looked at my doorbell cam. She was last caught on June 12th. I didn't think anything about it at first since it is summertime and people take vacations. On June 23rd, my family and I were leaving when her vehicle pulled into the parking lot. The vehicle was being driven by a man that I had seen a few times stay at her place. I thought it was odd that he was driving her vehicle because she always drove it even if the two of them went somewhere. Again, didn't see her vehicle for another week. Letters from our complex were on her door that everyone else got were still taped to her door, so I knew at that point no one was home. The same guy shows back up at our house July 1st. We had a note that our HVAC systems were going to be inspected on the 3rd. When the 3rd came, the same guy showed up at her place and waited on maintenance. When the maintenance man checked my unit, I asked if the woman and her girls were there. He said no, just a man. So at this point, I feel like something is up with this guy. I wrote my property manager the following week. I told her this guy keeps coming and staying in the apartment next door to me. He comes and goes all different times of day. Sometimes he stays all night, sometimes he's just there for an hour. He is driving her vehicle and she hadn't been seen in a month. All I get back from them is thank you for letting us know. A few hours later, the guy shows up, parks her blue SUV and now his red SUV. I know he had parked both vehicles because he parks crooked. He comes and goes with his red SUV only now. Her vehicle hasn't moved in over a week now. Yesterday afternoon, he was outside when our mailman was here and was trying to get her mail. I was busy with my kids, so I don't know what the mailman said to him. We have a group block of boxes. Now, from what I had observed, before that, this lady doesn't get her mail here. Never once seen her by the mailbox since she lived here. My apartment is right beside it, so I would have seen her, so I'm not sure why if he was staying there. Why wouldn't he have the mailbox key? Also, she would tell him she doesn't get mail there. He left and came back around 11:30 p.m. according to my door cam. Saw his vehicle leave again 45 minutes later. Most of the time I don't pay any attention to my neighbors since we all keep to ourselves. It is strange enough that I even started noticing it. I just feel like something is off and I can't shake the feeling. Maybe it's nothing, but it is odd. Note 1. No groceries have been seen taken into the apartment. 2. Her daughters haven't been seen either. I would say they are 13 to 17 years old. Haven't seen them since end of May or first week of June. With school out and being a single parent home, I assume they are with the other parent. 3. This is my next door neighbor, so that is why I noticed since I would see her almost daily. 4. Went back through my doorbell cam. Last that I recorded her was June 12th. From how her vehicle was parked, I'm going to say for sure she was there until the 15th to 16th. After that, you don't see her vehicle until the 23rd driven by him. You never see her again. You can also tell very obvious she wasn't parking that SUV. He parks very crooked and her vehicle is parked crooked. It hasn't moved now in over a week. For the mailbox, I never saw her at the bank of boxes. A lot of people get their mail at the post office or UPS store, so that is why I thought it was strange he was trying to get her mail. If she asked him to get it, he would know she doesn't get it here. For reference, I can see the mailbox block from my porch and my doorbell cam would have captured her getting mail. Hopefully that answers your questions. 5. To the best of my knowledge, no pets. 6. I have a Ring app that you get notifications on. It records and you can look at it live. So no, I don't sit and stare at it or out my windows. My app notifies me if anyone is near my property. If you have seen Ring footage, it's a wide angle, hence why I could see my neighbor. Redditors would begin to give their suggestions about how to find their missing neighbor. One Redditor of the name SuitablePen8468 would make a great theory. Their comment is as follows. I agree with the commenter that said she may be on bed rest. Her daughters could be visiting their father in another state. I only saw one of my cousins in the summer when she visited her dad/my uncle because she lived out of state with her mom during the school year. Also, any chance they are visiting family in another country? My neighbors do this every few years for a month or so. If she's a teacher or works in a school, that would be easier for her to do. The guy could just be watching her apartment for her. The chances that something nefarious is going on is pretty slim. slim, but you could always call the police for a welfare check. It's possible that the neighbors' daughters could be visiting their father out of state, and it's also possible they could be visiting family out of country. I would also suggest OP call the police for a welfare check if they genuinely feel something wrong is up here like this commenter said. However, Azrella would reply with, "Since no food is being brought into the house except his own fast food, I'm going to say no. From what I gathered, she worked in an office. No, she's from where we live, so don't think she is visiting family. Most people where I'm from take their vehicles with them even if it's out of state for travel." He abruptly stopped using it when I inquired to our property managers. She never appeared to have any pets. They are strict here on what you can have and not have. Also, he hadn't been there at all most of June. Now in July much more frequently. He's here for a few hours here and there, stays some nights. My one friend suggested they may be doing a welfare scam, collecting money for 2 households, and he stops by to make it look like someone lives there. But I figured even in that scenario I would have seen her or her daughters. After this comment, Suitable Pen 846 would make another reply stating, "Have you talked to this woman before / did you have a relationship with her? Or are you assuming she was from the area / has no family in another part of the country or world because she looks like most of the people that live in your area? If you did in fact have a relationship of some kind with her, ask the man where she is. Make up something if you have to. Like she asked you to share a recipe with her and you have it for her, but haven't seen her lately to give it to her." This I agree with. OP should ask the man nicely if he knows anything about her neighbors and what might be up with them. However, OP would reply to this comment stating, "We have said hello and that sort of thing. She is from the city I live in. The guy wasn't in the picture when I spoke to her. I also had heard her talking with the old property manager about getting her dishwasher fixed when I was walking by. So maybe this guy's not connected to OP's neighbors at all and something might be up here." Another Redditor would also give a great theory with them stating, "Maybe the man and woman were friends or relatives. She and her daughters have moved on and he's taken over the lease. If he has bad or no credit, that may have been the intent all along. Both cars belong to him, or she has another, better car now and just left that one with him. If school starts up and they don't return, then they've definitely moved on." This is also a plausible theory. It's possible that the women and her daughters moved on from who this man is and left. However, OP would reply with, "I know you're not allowed to sublease here in this complex. I would think if she would have moved, I would have seen them actually take stuff out. My doorbell cam would have caught it. School starts back here in the beginning of August, so we shall see." This is a good point. If these neighbors are close by, it's more than likely OP would have seen them move out if this were the case. A deleted user would give some simple advice that could resolve the situation pretty quickly, with them stating, "Before doing anything else, I would probably just try to talk to the guy. Not interrogate him, but just have a friendly chat and introduce yourself, and then you can ask how he knows your neighbor." I'd probably do this too. It's more than likely OP can get a good answer by simply asking the man what could be up with OP's neighbors. However, OP would respond with, "Again, he's not an approachable kind of person. I'd rather keep a safe distance and not acknowledge to him that I even noticed this." A Redditor would give a possible solution to this with, "What about having your husband or a male relative / friend ask the guy in a neighborly / non-accusatory way if he knows when the lady and her 2 kids are coming back? Seems like a totally normal and not unsafe thing to ask about one's next door neighbor to the guy apparently house sitting for her." If OP feels comfortable with this man, it's possible from what this Redditor said they could get someone else to ask the man what is up with OP's neighbors. However, multiple Redditors decided to ask the question, what exactly makes this man unapproachable? With OP simply stating, "Look up the definition," which is obviously not what Redditors meant. Another Redditor would ask specifically to elaborate on this, but the reply from OP was deleted with that Redditor stating, "Yes, I get that, but I was wondering what about him makes you feel that way," with OP then not responding to this. I couldn't find the deleted comment, but I find it odd how OP would delete this response. It's possible the response OP made they then realized was an illogical reason, so they deleted it. One Redditor would back up these other skeptical Redditors with them stating, "Agreed, lots of people look unapproachable and are perfectly normal. It sounds a little like your imagination is getting the best of you. The chance of it being something criminal or your neighbor being in a dangerous situation is much less likely than this being some arrangement that you aren't privy to and therefore don't understand. Just casually ask the guy about the woman and her children. There's a good chance you'll get a satisfactory explanation. Do not call the police on a stranger who hasn't done anything criminal." I do agree that OP should just try to get themselves or someone else to simply ask the man what could be wrong with their neighbors, but it's still possible there could be something suspicious about this man. A first update would be provided by OP with them stating, "First update, reported to local police tip line. I don't know if I'll know the outcome, but at least someone will see if she's okay. I'll update if I hear anything or see her." Followed up by a second update. Second update, the police made contact with my neighbor. No further information is known except that it helped in an investigation. No information was given in regards to whatever that means, so at least I know she is alive. Well, hopefully OP's neighbors turn out to be okay. Since OP said the information they gave to the police helped with an ongoing investigation, I'd imagine something not good happened to them though. Alright, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. What did you think of this post? Did you think it was real or fake? Personally, it's hard for me to say. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this post. But as always,
Have a nice day.